Have you ever wondered if that old coin in your pocket or collection could be worth a fortune? Some rare coins have sold for millions of dollars, making them some of the most valuable collectibles in the world. In this video, we'll explore the most valuable coins and what makes them worth so much. Stay tuned, you won't want to miss this. First up, the 1951 Lincoln Wheat Penny with the large date, no mint mark, and a beautiful red color shade. We'll explore its history, design, and most importantly, its value in today's market. Let's jump in. The 1951 Lincoln Wheat Penny was minted during a prosperous time for the U.S. economy. Following the end of World War II, the country entered a period of significant growth and stability. The 1950s were a time of industrial growth, technological advancements, and a booming middle class. These pennies were minted as part of the everyday currency circulating in the pockets of Americans during that time. The Lincoln Wheat Penny design had been in circulation since 1909, and it would continue until 1958 when it was replaced with the Lincoln Memorial design. By 1951, the Lincoln Wheat Penny was well established, and collectors began to pay attention to the minor variations in design, such as the large date used on the 1951 penny. On the obverse of the 1951 Lincoln Wheat Penny, we see the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. The reverse of the coin showcases two stalks of wheat, representing the agricultural foundation of the United States. The 1951 penny in question features the large date variety. While this may seem like a subtle detail, it's a point of interest for many collectors, as the size of the in the year stands out compared to the small date version of the same year. Additionally, this penny has no mint mark, indicating that it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which was the primary mint for most of the coins produced in this period. What makes this particular coin stand out even more is the beautiful red color shade, which is a result of its copper composition. This red hue is often seen in coins that have been well preserved as the copper maintains its natural coloring over time. A red Lincoln Wheat Penny like this one is highly sought after by collectors. Now, let's talk about the condition. This 1951 Lincoln Wheat Penny is graded as being in good condition. In this grade, the coin shows wear, but the design details, including Lincoln's portrait and the wheat stalks on the reverse, are still visible. The coin's surfaces may have some abrasions or light scratches, but the overall integrity of the design is still clear. The good grade means the coin has seen circulation but is still in relatively decent shape for its age. The red color shade is an added bonus that sets this coin apart, as it indicates that the coin has likely been well preserved despite its circulation history. So, what is the value of this 1951 Lincoln Wheat Penny in today's market? The condition and the red color shade play a significant role in determining its value. In general, the 1951 Lincoln Wheat Penny is not one of the rarest coins in the series, but when it is in good condition with a red color shade, it attracts the attention of collectors. In today's market, a 1951 Lincoln Wheat Penny with a large date, no mint mark, and in good condition with a red color shade can be valued between $6.50 to $9. The red color gives it a slight edge over other similar pennies, making it more appealing to collectors who focus on preserving coins in higher grade conditions. If the coin were to be in a higher grade, such as extra fine or mint state, its value could increase significantly. But even in good condition, a well-preserved red penny still holds a decent value, especially if it's part of a complete collection. For collectors, the 1951 Lincoln Wheat Penny is an important piece, especially for those working on building a complete collection of wheat pennies. This particular penny, with its large date no mint mark and vibrant red color shade, is a great find for those looking for unique coins from the 1950s. While the 1951 Lincoln Wheat Penny isn't one of the most rare or highly valuable coins in the series, its appeal lies in the beauty of the coin itself and the history it represents. For collectors who appreciate the finer details and are focused on obtaining well-preserved examples, this coin is definitely one to watch. The 1995 Washington Silver Quarter featuring the large date and a D mint mark. This quarter has a red color shade and is in dirty condition, so let's dive into its history, design features, and of course what it's worth in today's market. Stick around to find out more. Let's go back to 1995, a time when the United States was seeing some significant changes. The economy was in the midst of a boom during the 1990s, with the stock market reaching new heights, and the country was focused on technological advancements and the rise of the internet. But while the economy soared, the 1995 Washington silver quarter continued to circulate among Americans as a simple yet iconic piece of currency. This year was part of the Washington Quarter series, which first debuted in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Designed by John Flanagan, this coin is a tribute to the nation's first president, featuring his portrait on the obverse. On the obverse, we have the familiar portrait of George Washington, with the inscriptions, "Liberty and in God." We trust along with the year 1995 clearly visible beneath his bust. His dignified profile has been a staple of the Washington Quarter series since 1932. On the reverse, the design features an eagle, with United States of America, E pluribus unum, and quarter dollar engraved. The eagle holds an olive branch and arrows in its talons, symbolizing peace and strength. It's a beautiful classic design that remains iconic in U.S. coinage. Now, let's focus on the condition of this 1995 Washington silver quarter. As you can see, this quarter has a red color shade, which may result from the way it's been stored or exposed to certain environmental factors like high humidity or specific types of cleaning. This red tint isn't typical of most quarters, and it could indicate some form of discoloration over the years. In addition to the color change, the coin is also in dirty condition. While it doesn't appear to have any major damage or corrosion, the grime dirt or other residues present on the surface have impacted the coin's visual appeal. This can happen when a coin is left unprotected or handled frequently without proper care. So what is the 1995 Washington silver quarter, large date, D mint mark worth in today's market? Well, with the red color shade and dirty condition, this coin's value will be significantly lower than a coin in mint condition. Typically, a 1995 Washington silver quarter in good condition with D mint mark can be worth around $3,200 to $4,000, primarily due to its silver content. However, in this dirty condition with the red color shade, it's not going to fetch top dollar. In this state, you can expect the value to range from $5,000 to $7,000 depending on the extent of the dirt and color alteration. The silver content will always have some base value, but collectors generally look for coins in better condition for higher prices. Next up, in today's video, we'll be diving into a fascinating piece of U.S. coinage, the 1937 Lincoln wheat penny, with no mint mark currently in dirty condition. Although this coin may not look pristine, it still has an interesting story to tell, and we'll explore its history, design, and of course, its value in today's market. Let's get started. The 1937 Lincoln wheat penny was minted during the tail end of the Great Depression, a period that deeply impacted the American economy. While the 1930s were tough times for many Americans, the United States was beginning its recovery by the time this penny was being struck. Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, had already been featured on the obverse of the wheat penny since 1909. By 1937, his image was well known, and the penny itself had become a staple in American daily life. While not a rare coin in itself, the 1937 penny stands as a reminder of the period in which it was created. On the obverse of the 1937 Lincoln wheat penny, we see the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. This famous image of Lincoln is featured prominently with the phrase "In God We Trust" around the edge. The reverse side of the coin showcases two stalks of wheat, symbolizing the agricultural foundation of the United States. This wheat design is what gives this coin its nickname, the wheat penny, and it remained in circulation until 1958. What makes this 1937 penny stand out today is its condition. While the coin has seen significant wear and accumulated dirt over the years, the design elements, though not in perfect shape, are still somewhat legible. The dirty condition might not appeal to everyone, but there are collectors who look for coins like this for the character they show. Now let's talk about the condition of this coin. As we can see, the 1937 Lincoln wheat penny is in dirty condition. Coins that have been exposed to dirt, grime, or the elements for long periods tend to lose their original luster and can develop discoloration. This penny is a perfect example. In terms of grading, this coin would likely fall under the good or fair category, depending on the extent of the wear and dirt. In these grades, the coin shows clear signs of circulation. The details of Lincoln's portrait and the wheat stalks are still visible, but they are not as sharp or crisp as they would be in higher grades. Some collectors actually appreciate coins in dirty condition because it gives them a sense of the coin's history and journey through time. However, it's important to note that coins in dirty condition generally have lower value compared to coins in higher grades. So what's the value of this 1937 Lincoln wheat penny in today's market despite its dirty condition? In general, the 1937 Lincoln wheat penny is not a rare coin, and it is fairly common in circulation. However, the market value can still vary depending on its condition. For a dirty 1937 Lincoln wheat penny, like the one we're looking at today, its value typically ranges from $75,000. Coins in this condition aren't worth much due to the dirt and wear. However, if the coin were to be cleaned with care by a professional, its value could increase slightly depending on how much of its original details are restored. Now, if this coin were in higher grades, like extra fine or uncirculated, its value could rise to anywhere from $80,000. But in its current state, with dirt and wear, the market value remains relatively modest. You might be wondering who would be interested in a 1937 Lincoln wheat penny in dirty condition. Well, there are collectors who focus on coins in lower grades, as they are more affordable and still carry historical value. Some also specialize in coins that have seen a lot of circulation, appreciating the stories they could tell. For collectors looking to build a complete set of wheat pennies from the 1930s, a 1937 penny, no matter the condition, could be an essential piece. The condition doesn't necessarily detract from its historical significance. Next up, the 1950 Lincoln wheat penny without mint mark in extra fine condition. If you're into coin collecting, you won't want to miss this one. We're going to talk about its historical significance, its design features, and of course, its value in today's market. So let's dive right in. The 1950 Lincoln wheat penny was minted during a 1950 time of post-Spolfeudnar recovery in the United States. By the time the 1950s rolled around, the U.S. economy was rebounding, and the mint was busy producing coins to meet the demand for everyday currency. The Lincoln wheat penny, a staple in American coinage since 1909, continued to be minted in large numbers throughout the 1940s and 1950s. This particular 1950 penny was minted in Philadelphia, as indicated by the absence of a mint mark. No D or S mint mark was used on coins struck there that year. The 1950 penny is part of the series of Lincoln wheat pennies, which are beloved by collectors for their design and historical importance. The design of the 1950 Lincoln wheat penny is one of the most iconic in U.S. coinage. On the obverse, we see Abraham Lincoln in profile, facing left, designed by Victor David Brenner. Lincoln's portrait has been featured on the penny since 1909. On this coin, you'll also find the year 1950 along with the motto, "In God We Trust," and the word liberty. On the reverse, we see two wheat stalks framing the words 1 cent, symbolizing the importance of agriculture in the United States. The coin also features the phrase e pluribus unum, meaning out of many one, along with the lack of a mint mark, confirming that this penny was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. Now let's talk about the condition of this coin, which is absolutely crucial when it comes to determining its value. This 1950 Lincoln wheat penny is in extra fine condition. What does that mean? Well, in extra fine condition, the coin has been circulated but still maintains sharp details. The major features, like Lincoln's profile and the wheat stalks, are clearly visible and show little to no wear. There may be slight rubbing on the high points, but overall, the coin still retains much of its original crispness. In extra fine condition, the coin is highly collectible. It's not as worn as one in fine or good condition, but it's not perfect either. It's somewhere in between, offering collectors a great balance of historical character and visual appeal. So, what's the 1950 Lincoln wheat penny worth in today's market, especially in extra fine condition? The value can vary depending on factors like demand, rarity, and the state of the coin, but we'll give you a general idea. In extra fine condition, A 1950 Lincoln Wheat penny without a mint mark typically ranges in value from about $30,000. While this may not seem like a huge sum, it's a nice value for a coin that's over 70 years old. If you happen to find a 1950 penny in mint state, meaning it's virtually uncirculated, that could push the value up to around $50,000 or more. It's important to remember that the 1950 Lincoln Wheat penny is not among the rarest of the series, but its extra fine condition does make it a desirable coin for many collectors. The absence of a mint mark also adds a small layer of uniqueness compared to the D or S varieties. But why are collectors interested in the 1950 Lincoln Wheat penny? Well, for one, it's part of the famous Lincoln Wheat penny series, which is one of the longest-running and most widely collected series in American numismatics. It's a coin that appeals to both seasoned collectors and beginners looking to build their sets. Collectors also appreciate the 1950 penny for its historical significance. Struck during the post-World War II era, this coin symbolizes a time of rebuilding and recovery for the United States. It's a snapshot of a specific moment in history, which adds depth to its appeal. Additionally, the 1950 Lincoln Wheat penny is still affordable for many collectors. While it may not be the rarest or the most valuable coin in the series, it's an important piece of U.S. coinage that holds a place in the hearts of collectors, especially those working on a complete Lincoln Wheat penny set. And there you have it, the 1950 Lincoln Wheat penny without a mint mark in extra fine condition. It may not be the rarest penny out there, but it's certainly an important and valuable coin for those who collect and appreciate the history behind it. If you enjoyed learning about this coin, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to Valuable Coins for more coin-related content, and click the notification bell so you never miss an update. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you have a 1950 Lincoln Wheat penny in your collection? Let us know in the comments below. Next up today, we're talking about a 1980 Washington silver quarter, featuring the large date and P mint mark. We'll take a look at its history, design features, and most importantly, its value in today's market. So let's get started. The year 1980 was an important one in American history, marked by major events like the election of President Ronald Reagan and the beginning of the 1980s recession. But while the economy had its ups and downs, the 1980 Washington silver quarter was still circulating among the public as everyday currency. This quarter belongs to the Washington Quarter series, which started in 1932 as a tribute to the nation's first president, George Washington. Designed by John Flanagan, the Washington Quarter has been a staple of U.S. coinage for decades. The 1980 issue continued this tradition and is part of the regular series that was produced during this time. Let's talk about the design features of the 1980 Washington silver quarter. On the obverse, we have the classic portrait of George Washington, facing left. His image is accompanied by the words, "Liberty, in God we trust," and the year 1980 just below his neck. The reverse of the coin features the eagle design, with the eagle holding an olive branch and arrows. The inscriptions, United States of America, E pluribus, unum, and quarter dollar are all visible, completing the elegant design. The eagle is perched proudly, symbolizing the nation's strength and peace. The large date on this quarter refers to the size of the numerals in the year, which is larger compared to previous year's issues. You'll also notice the P mint mark on this coin, which indicates that it was minted at the Philadelphia Mint now. Let's talk about the condition of this coin. The 1980 Washington silver quarter we're looking at today is in good condition. The coin has visible wear, but the design details are still clear. On a scale of good to mint, this coin falls on the lower end of the spectrum but is still a solid piece for collectors, especially considering its age. In good condition, you can expect the coin to show some signs of wear, such as light scratches and slight fading of the details, but the overall integrity of the coin remains intact. It's important to note that good condition coins are not heavily damaged or excessively worn, making them collectible for a wide range of enthusiasts. In good condition, the value of a 1980 Washington silver quarter with the P mint mark generally ranges between $14,000. The value is driven by its silver content, which makes the coin inherently valuable, as well as its status as part of the ongoing Washington Quarter series. Because this coin has been in circulation for a long time, it's not considered rare, But the silver content always gives it a base value, especially in markets that see demand for silver. So, while you won't get rich off a single 1980 Washington quarter, it's still a nice coin to have in your collection. For many collectors, it's about more than just the monetary value. It's about having a piece of U.S. history, and the 1980 Washington quarter is a great addition for anyone building a collection of quarters from the 20th century. It also serves as a fantastic example of U.S. coinage from the 1980s. So there you have it, the 1980 Washington silver quarter with the large date and P mint mark in good condition. While this coin may not be the most valuable quarter on the market, it's still a solid piece of American numismatic history with inherent silver value. Next up, today, we're taking a close look at a coin that might be hiding in your collection right now, the 1947 Lincoln Wheat penny with D mint mark in very fine condition. This penny might not be the rarest, but it certainly holds its value in today's market. Stick around as we explore its history, design, condition, and of course, its current value in today's market. The 1947 Lincoln Wheat penny was minted at a time when the United States was emerging from the aftermath of World War II. It was a period of economic recovery and growth, and the Lincoln Wheat penny, like many other coins, continued to circulate widely throughout the 1940s country. By 1947, the U.S. government had already been producing pennies with the wheat design for nearly 40 years, and Abraham Lincoln's portrait had become an iconic feature of American currency. This penny was struck at the Denver Mint, as indicated by the D mint mark on the reverse, which sets it apart from pennies minted in Philadelphia and San Francisco. The 1947 Lincoln Wheat penny follows the familiar design created by Victor David Brenner. On the obverse, we see the well-known portrait of Abraham Lincoln, surrounded by the inscription Liberty and the date 1947. The phrase, "In God We Trust," also adorns the top edge, showcasing the coin's religious and national significance. On the reverse, the famous wheat stalks form a simple yet powerful design, symbolizing America's agricultural roots. The words E pluribus unum and 1 cent can be found, along with the mint mark D in this case, signifying that this penny was minted in Denver. When it comes to determining the value of a coin like the 1947 Lincoln Wheat penny, the condition is key. This particular coin is in very fine condition, meaning it has been in circulation but still retains significant detail. The details of Lincoln's portrait and the wheat stalks are clear, though they may be slightly worn due to age and use. In coin grading, the very fine grade generally means the coin has some wear, but all major design elements are still visible. The lettering and images are worn but still readable, and the coin has an overall sharp appearance which makes it appealing to collectors. Now let's get to the most exciting part. What is the 1947 Lincoln Wheat penny worth in today's market? For a coin in very fine condition, the value tends to fluctuate based on demand and the coin's current market trends. The 1947 Lincoln Wheat penny, with D mint mark, in very fine condition is worth about $65,000 on average. While it's not a rare coin, its condition definitely impacts its value. A penny in very fine condition retains much of its original beauty and is more sought after than a heavily worn coin. However, if this coin were in higher grades like extra fine or uncirculated, its value could increase significantly, reaching anywhere from $73,000 or even higher, depending on the specific demand at the time. It's important to note that the 1947 penny is still relatively common in today's market. However, for those seeking to complete a set of Lincoln Wheat pennies from the 1940s, this coin plays an essential role. So who is collecting the 1947 Lincoln Wheat penny? Well, there's a growing interest in mid-century coins, especially those that were minted right after World War II. For collectors focusing on wheat pennies, this 1947 penny is often included in their sets. Due to its historical significance and relatively easy availability, many collectors of Lincoln Wheat pennies look for coins with a clear mint mark. In this case, the D mint mark from Denver. Coins like these are seen as valuable components of a complete collection and their availability in decent condition. Like this very fine example makes them popular among both beginners and experienced collectors. Next up, the 1990 Washington silver quarter with the large date and D mint mark. We'll look at its history, design features, and most importantly, its value in today's market. So let's get started. The year 1990 was a notable year in American history. The country was experiencing an economic recovery after the early 1990s recession, and cultural shifts were taking place with the rise of technology and pop culture. But while all of this was happening, the 1990 Washington silver quarter was quietly circulating as part of the nation's coinage. The Washington Quarter series, first introduced in 1932 to honor George Washington, has been a consistent part of U.S. currency for nearly a century. The 1990 issue is a part of the ongoing Washington Quarter series, and today we'll focus on its particular features and why it's valued by collectors. Let's take a closer look at the design features of the 1990 Washington Silver Quarter. On the obverse, you'll see the timeless image of George Washington facing left. The words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust" surround his portrait, with the year 1990 located just below his neck. On the reverse, we have the iconic eagle design. The eagle is perched, holding an olive branch and arrows, symbolizing peace and strength. The inscriptions, United States of America, E pluribus unum and quarter dollar, are present, completing the striking design. The large date refers to the size of the numerals for the year 1990, which are noticeably larger than those on some earlier quarters. The D mint mark indicates that this coin was minted at the Denver Mint, one of the primary facilities for coin production in the United States. Now, let's talk about the condition of this coin. The 1990 Washington Silver Quarter we're looking at today is in extra fine condition. This means that the coin shows only slight wear, with the design details still sharp and clearly visible. You can expect the coin to have only minimal signs of use, such as light scratches or minor fading, but overall, it's in great shape for its age. An extra fine coin typically has almost no noticeable wear on the high points of the design, and the coin will retain much of its original luster. This makes it a highly desirable option for collectors who are looking for coins in excellent condition. So, how much is the 1990 Washington Silver Quarter worth in today's market? Well, the value of a coin depends on several factors, including its condition, demand, and rarity. In extra fine condition, this quarter holds more value than a typical circulated coin due to its excellent state of preservation. Currently, the value of the 1990 Washington Silver Quarter with D mint mark in extra fine condition ranges between $45,000. While this isn't a rare coin, its value is bolstered by its silver content and the demand for high-quality quarters from the Washington series. Keep in mind that the price can vary slightly depending on the coin's exact condition, with extra fine coins being on the higher end of the spectrum. But it's not just about the silver, it's also about the historical significance and appeal of the Washington Quarter. While the 1990 Washington Silver Quarter may not be one of the highest value coins on the market, it still has a strong appeal among collectors, especially those who focus on completing their Washington Quarter collections or seeking out well-preserved silver coins. For collectors, the 1990 issue is part of the regular series of Washington Quarters, but owning a coin in extra fine condition adds that extra layer of value. It's a great addition for those who appreciate high-quality U.S. coinage and want to own a piece of late 20th century history. Next up, the 1942 Lincoln Wheat penny with D mint mark in good condition. If you're a coin collector or just starting out, this is definitely one you'll want to know about. Let's take a closer look at this coin's fascinating history, design, condition, and of course its value in today's market. The 1942 Lincoln Wheat penny was minted during a turbulent time in U.S. history, World War II. With the country deeply involved in the conflict, the production of everyday coins continued, but with some challenges. The 1942 penny was struck in the midst of wartime, a period when the U.S. Mint was focused on producing large quantities of coins to keep the economy running. This penny was minted in 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. But today, we're focusing on the 1942 Lincoln Wheat penny with D mint mark, which was produced at the Denver Mint. The design. The design of the 1942 Lincoln Wheat penny remains one of the most iconic in American numismatics. On the obverse, we see Abraham Lincoln in profile facing left. His portrait was designed by the artist Victor David Brenner and has graced the penny since 1909. Along with his image, the words liberty and the year 1942 can be seen, as well as the national motto, "In God We Trust." On the reverse side, we see two stalks of wheat framing the words, 1 cent, symbolizing America's agricultural heritage. The phrase e pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one, is also inscribed alongside the mint mark D, indicating that this penny was minted in Denver. Now, let's talk about condition. This particular 1942 Lincoln wheat penny is in good condition, which is important when determining its value. A coin in good condition has noticeable wear, but the major features of the design are still recognizable. The details of Lincoln's portrait and the wheat stalks are visible, but show signs of wear from circulation over the years. In good condition, the coin will have some softness in the details, especially on Lincoln's hair and the wheat stalks, but you should still be able to clearly make out the inscriptions. If the coin were in fine or very fine condition, its value would be higher, but good condition still makes it appealing to collectors who appreciate its history. So how much is a 1942 Lincoln wheat penny with D mint mark worth in today's market? Well, the value of this coin can vary depending on several factors including its condition and current demand from collectors. For a 1942 penny in good condition, the value typically ranges from about $45,000. While it's not a rare coin by any means, its value can increase slightly due to its historical context and its D mint mark. The D mint mark indicates that it was minted at the Denver Mint, which adds a bit of uniqueness compared to the coins minted in Philadelphia, which did not have a mint mark. If the coin were in better condition, like very fine or uncirculated, the value could be much higher. But for collectors who are looking for pieces to complete their sets, or those who appreciate pennies from the early 1940s, this 1942 penny is a solid choice. So, why do collectors care about the 1942 Lincoln wheat penny? Well, for one, it's a key date in the series of Lincoln wheat pennies, especially when considering the historical significance of World War II. It's also part of the larger collection of pennies minted during the 1940s, which is a popular era for collectors who focus on wartime coins. Collectors also appreciate coins like this for their unique D mint mark, which makes them distinct from other pennies of the same year. While the 1942 penny might not be the rarest in the world, it is still an important coin for those looking to complete their Lincoln wheat penny sets or those who enjoy collecting coins from the early 20th century. So there you have it, the 1942 Lincoln wheat penny with D mint mark, in good condition. It may not be the rarest penny, but it's certainly a valuable piece of history and an interesting addition to any collection. Whether you're a seasoned coin collector or just starting your journey, this penny offers both historical significance and a nice starting point for building a collection of mid-20th century coins. Next up, the 1984 Washington silver quarter with P mint mark in dirty condition, and most importantly, its current market value. Let's jump right in. The 1984 Washington silver quarter is part of the ongoing series of quarters minted in honor of George Washington. By this time, the Washington quarter had been in circulation for more than 50 years, first introduced in 1932. In 1984, the U.S. Mint produced a substantial number of these coins as part of the regular coinage for the year. The 1984 coin features the timeless design that collectors have come to love and continues to be an essential part of the Washington Quarter series. The 1984 Washington Quarter is not only a key part of the U.S. coinage series, but it also features some iconic designs. On the obverse, we see a left-facing portrait of George Washington, the first president of the United States, designed by John Flanagan. The inscriptions include "Liberty in God We Trust" and the year 1984 beneath his portrait. Now let's talk about the condition of this particular 1984 Washington quarter. This coin is in what we call a dirty condition, meaning it has visible signs of dirt tarnish or other marks that might affect its surface. While it's still a genuine and collectible piece, its overall appeal is diminished compared to a coin in mint or near mint condition. So what is the 1984 Washington silver quarter worth in today's market? Well, because this coin is in dirty condition, it has a relatively low value compared to one that's in pristine shape. Generally, a 1984 Washington quarter in dirty condition can range in value between $70,000 This is still a decent price for a coin that's seen some wear and tear, but it's important to note that the value largely depends on its exact state. If this coin were in excellent or uncirculated condition, its value would be significantly higher. But for now, its value is primarily determined by its silver content and the market demand for Washington quarters from the 1980s. While the 1984 Washington quarter may not be the most sought-after coin in the series, it still holds interest for collectors, especially those focused on completing their Washington quarter collection. For those who specialize in silver quarters or looking for affordable options, this coin could be a great addition to their collection. Collectors also enjoy the Philadelphia mint mark on coins, which makes this particular example even more special, even though its value is largely driven by the silver content and its condition. And that's a wrap on the 1984 Washington silver quarter with P mint mark in dirty condition. While it may not be a high-value coin, it's still a piece of history that many collectors will find interesting, especially those focused on the Washington quarter series. If you have a 1984 Washington silver quarter or any other similar coin in your collection, drop a comment below and let us know. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more coin insights. Thanks for watching, and happy collecting!